maybe I just need to boost your audio. That could be it. Yeah, it seems a bit faint. It's not a critical thing. I'm not worried about it. I've got enough to worry about. I forgot to promote a raffle, and I'm not having one because I feel like I should have promoted if I'm going to have one. I'm just tacked on and have to edit the promotion or something. I do not make enough time for this again. This week has been kicking my ass. Sorry, what? Oh! You're not live? Oh. Well, we're gonna have to wing it.
It sounds like you're having a conversation with yourself. Oh, there we go.
Greetings everyone, I'm Dr. Arketer of Arketer Labs, which is typically the case. Few exceptions apply. Live with Haven, who I suppose I should actually... There. The icon is now. I know we don't need a really cursive version of me. I've hated every time that's happened, really. In any case, and welcome to the usual SCP review. We are going to start shortly. One quick thing. Typically there would be a raffle, and there are more games to raffle off. But this week has been kicking my ass on timetables and schedules, and I didn't think to actually promote that in the promotional material. So I don't feel comfortable doing a raffle, because it wasn't adequately promoted. I hope no one's bothered by that. Just, tune in. Okay, not next time. Next time is the SRS. I never raffle on the SRS because it just feels wrong. Yeah. Sunday, there will be the next game raffle. In any case, greetings in chat, Brain Shatter. You've displaced Kaylet, I believe, from the last burst, and now have to get just one more 999 times before I have to worry about alarmingly having to keep my word on what that wins. And I'm radically concerned that someone will somehow manage it. Never mind then. Greetings also in chat to K-Shoal. And I've already agreed to Heaven, so that's all the greetings you get.
Aww.
As I understand it, we have... That's all the current viewers. And that's fine. It's my fault. I was 30 minutes late to get everything together. These things happen. And I also have one more guest, as you might see, who I'm pretty sure is Bink.
Yes.
Yes. For tonight's SP review, I was thinking about starting with some old Halloween favorites. And then I picked this one, which is not a Halloween favorite, but it is vaguely pumpkin-related, ergo close enough, yes? And the phenomenon happens around Halloween, so there's that. I do have one of my all-time favorite Halloween-related SPs lined up after that, but if there's anyone in the audience who has a favorite Halloween SP they would like me to go over, well then, at the end of this SCP, you'll be welcome to make your request. But before we get into the SP file, how are you, Haven? Are you well?
Oh yeah, I'm just fine. So in like 2 hours, a historical storm is going to be sweeping over my part of my country. And that's like, we've had like 5 storms within the past month, and it's a bit much.
Greetings in chat to Exodus and Fuck Norris now. Sorry to hear that, Haven. Be sure to write from Oz when you get there.
Yay!
I want to know how the trip was and whether or not the Lollipop Guild is still in operation and if you have any means of burning it down, because those guys freaked me the hell out. I suspect the flying monkeys might be a bit more redeemable. That's not fair there. And besides, I understand the Lollipop Guild cast was really one of the best things to happen to the actors involved. I don't want to get into the hypotheses of what they did over the course of the film, but I find it very sensible, really.
I've never actually watched it.
The Wizard of Oz? Oh, well, you probably should. Greetings, Grey Summers! You are among the clear list to join in if you are so inclined, but no obligations. Grey, Haven, and the absent Carrot were part of a, along with Exodus as happens, a Phasmophobia stream just yesterday, which I mainly followed through on because I committed to it in advance, but yeah. I'm going to need to probably take some time to myself again, because I've had absolutely no free time except for this, which is part of my free time and gladly spent, but I could use a bit more relaxing time, really. Couldn't we all, though? I shouldn't whinge.
Yeah.
I think there are enough people in the world generally whinging to compensate for me and 3 other people, so I'm going to continue my efforts to just not do that if I can resist. And I can. We're starting with SCP-097. No. That's not what we're starting with. Or is it? Well, hold on. Are starting 2171. What did I schedule this? Damn it, I'm committed to 97 first.
Ah!
This way it happens when one is running short on time. Okay, item SCP-097, object class Euclid, containment procedures. SCP-097 is contained within the limits of the property where it was initially discovered. Zone SCP-097. The property is surrounded by an 8-meter tall concrete block fence fitted with barbed wire and security camera systems. Satellite images of Zone SCP-097 are to be doctored, removing all trace of the area. Any and all kind of new plant growth outside the containment area suspected to originate from within the SCP is to be sterilized, the application of boiling salt water and or incinerated. Absolutely all abnormal behavior is to be reported to Dr. Bridge within 10 minutes of occurrence. It is any personnel or their families experience hallucinations or thematically related dreams outside of containment, they are to contact Dr. Bridge to schedule treatment. Locality surrounding SCP... sorry. Actually, Haven, I've immediately forgotten that I was supposed to read off on paragraphs with you.
Yeah, it's alright. Localities surrounding SCP-097, specifically redacted, are to be monitored from the 1st of April until the 1st of November every year for affected civilians. Medical establishments dealing with sleep abnormalities are to be monitored for signs of SCP-097's influence. Civilians below the age of 16 encountered alone within 1 square kilometer of Zone SCP-097 are to be taken into Foundation custody and are to be treated with a Class B amnestic and returned home, or the nearest police station. Personnel tasked with the return of civilians are to avoid public exposure. Each agent is to be assigned a cover story to follow if they encounter civilians en route to their destinations. See Level 3 staff for details.
The morning after the first frost of the year, a team of 25 agents, armed with agricultural tools, are to enter SCP-097 and clear away the outer plant matter. This process is not to continue past dusk.
Description: SCP-097 is a 10-acre area of land in the state of Redacted, in the Midwestern United States. It is the abandoned remains of the Redacted County Fair of 1969, an area of approximately 2.3 kilometers squared, approximately 5.4 square miles. Structures within the SCP area exist in a state of moderate disrepair, consistent with the expected age and environment.
At the center of SCP-097 lie the remains of a 1956 GMC pickup, majority of which is crushed beneath a colossal pumpkin of an unknown subtype, henceforth referred to as SCP-09701. SCP-09701 stands approximately 7.5 meters, or 24.3 feet tall, and 8.1 meters, or rather 26.8 feet in diameter at its widest. Current estimates put SCP-09701 at approximately 15,000 kilograms, or approximately 33,070 pounds. For relevant, sane measurements. This pumpkin remains roughly spherical in shape, instead of spreading out under its own weight, as would be expected of a plant its size.
The remaining portion of SCP-097, approximately 2 square kilometers, is overgrown with several dozen varieties of pumpkins, with over 70 subspecies yet identified, and many previously unknown to agriculture. Many of these pumpkins have been shown capable of growing to enormous sizes, the average estimated weight being around 250 kilograms, average 550 pounds. These pumpkins, along with the assorted other crops, grow on and around the remains of the 1969 fairgrounds, creating a maze-like arrangement of plant life. The average height of the walls within SCP-097 is 1.6 meters, although this may vary from year to year.
Quick question. No. Swazi Wafter, glad you could join. Please refrain from such vulgarity. You know what you said. Or you're a bot. One of the two. Between April and November each year, the area within SCP-097 has produced a number of anomalous phenomena ranging from benign to implicitly aggressive. To date, 17 agents have been severely maimed within SCP-097, 8 having died. See event log SCP-097 for a brief listing of recorded phenomenon, which we might, depending on how long this one takes to otherwise seemingly complete.
Is it the addendum? I lost
Yes.
my place. Addendum, historical note. Prior to the construction of SCP-097's containment wall, instances of what are now known as SCP-2171-1 were occasionally observed to form fragmented walls, and at one point a near-complete ring of 2171 around SCP-097's area of effect. This behavior ceased following the containment wall's completion. The purpose of and implications behind this interaction are as of yet unknown.
And that's why I was on 2171. I remember exploring it now. Oh well. Caffeine and sleep deprivation make for a strange mix. Effects of SCP-097 on children. In addition to its immediate effects aligned with event log SCP-097, SCP-097-1 appears to produce an undetectable signal towards children of an undetermined range. For clarity, children, quote-unquote, will refer to individuals up to the age of, 10, apparently.
Beginning of early April, civilian children within SCP-097's undefined range may be overcome with somnambulism on clear nights, that is, sleepwalking. Affected children will move around their homes, stopping to face closed doorways for several seconds before moving to the next nearest doorway, eventually returning to bed. At first, this behavior will occur only once a week, beginning with only the doors on a single floor. The sleepwalking will become more frequent, by mid-August happening every night. If forcibly awoken at any time during these episodes, they will scream for several seconds before succumbing to a degree of confusion. After an affected child is awoken in this manner, the effect will cease, and the child will never show any further signs of SCP-097's influence.
Over the course of 2 to 3 months, these episodes will become more thorough, affected individuals seeking out each doorway inside their home, as well as those on their household's property, such as garages, car doors, fence gates. Eventually, they will begin visiting the front doors of neighbors. Beginning in September, affected children who have remained undisturbed during these episodes will begin to remain outside at sunrise, laying on the grass near their homestead, and returning to full REM sleep. Affected children may recall dreams centering around autumn activities. So in any case, Grey Summers, I do note that that there's actually quite a few ostensible gods contained, including Santa, a disgusting herbo that is self-replicating Baileys, apparently. Or eggnog.
I muted myself to blow my nose, and I forgot to unmute myself.
How dare you! It's fine, though. It's sorted. We bought time. This ad blocker blocked on YouTube is BS. I hate this platform. You're quite right, you were wrong, and you would like to note that I am not monetized Insider, so any ads that should appear on my streams, I'm getting absolutely no share of. They're just, just pulling in a bit of extra money that way, I guess. And they think I give a shit about ad blockers. In any case, moving on.
Yes, between September 1st and November 1st, if the affected children have not been awoken during the preceding sleepwalking episodes, they will cease the previously established activity during the sleepwalk and instead begin to walk directly towards SCP-097's location. They will travel over fields and down secondary roads, steadily moving towards SCP-097. Local geography consists mostly of undeveloped Foundation-owned property, facilitating uninterrupted travel. Upon arrival at SCP-097, an affected child will sit down before SCP-097-01 and begin singing unidentifiable gibberish as music begins to play. While a number of instruments have been recorded, simple drums and pipes are the most consistently encountered.
After several minutes, childlike entities will crawl out from tangled flora, or break out of larger pumpkins within SCP-097. The children will be wearing whatever they were last seen with, most often pajamas or similar clothing. Many of the entities match those children known to be lost to SCP-0971.
The entities will surround the affected civilian child, dancing and singing in a circle as SCP-097-01 begins to emit dim light. The affected children will awaken, normally expressing a great deal of terror. The instant any vocalization is produced, the entities will swarm and kill the child. Methods used are different in each instance, but usually involve dismemberment or strangulation. At this point, any and all efforts to interrupt the entities will fail, whether through breakdown of equipment, sudden intangibility of the subjects, or express violence on the part of SCP-097.
After the death of the affected child, SCP-0971 will split open, and the entities will hurl the remains into it before climbing themselves. SCP-09701 will then close, and the music will stop.
Before containment walls was erected, at least 10 to 99 children between the ages of 3 and 10 are known to have been lost to SCP-097. See event log SCP-097 for current examples of SCP-097's behavior.
You tell me, should we go to event log SCP-097? It is a separate page, so it's not necessary. And greetings, etc. Strictly speaking, you're right. This thing is a child predator, and the Foundation is quite wise to contain it. I'm not sure if the object class is truly Euclid, but it's close enough. I won't argue. Personally, I would call it Keter and burn it. But that's not proper Foundation procedure, really. And you can't be certain that would actually help things. Might just grow somewhere else where you don't have contained. This is the better. I'm curious also about what 2271 was doing. The idea that it was attempting to contain this itself is interesting. But instead, event log, everyone.
Yeah.
That's right, JJW. You haven't caught one of these in a very long time indeed. Welcome. It's alright. I wasn't holding a grudge. Or mourning your absence. I'm used to being abandoned. It's okay.
Wow.
Did we want to go to the event log? Haven, you may have called. They're taking a while to respond in chat.
I'm sorry, what?
Should we do the event log for this?
Yes.
Event log SCP-097. This is a general incident log for SCP-097 for the cycle between 0901 redacted and 1101 redacted. This is an abridged version. Please requisition full individual reports from Dr. Bridge. During this time, 4 civilian children were captured and returned to their families. That's some good foundational work.
Yes.
Let's trade off on these reports. Do you want to start or shall I?
You can begin.
0903 needlessly redacted date. Time 0939. Cameras 3B, 4A, 4C, 5B. View child, approximately 4 years of age, walk between the tangles of plant matter towards SCP-0971 over an 8-minute period. Child appeared to be dragging a stuffed animal. Notes: child appeared on footage during review period. No figure was viewed at the time of recording.
0905 1733. A human scream heard from within SCP-097, heard throughout the site. On-site personnel described it as possessing a small child's voice, sustained for approximately 3 minutes before stopping abruptly. The staff reported feeling as if they were being watched during the event.
I would like more experiments by the Foundation on this thing, because quite frankly I would like to suffer regardless. But also, maybe see what's inside the pumpkin. Maybe cut a few samples. Open a door. Send in a few drones. Why risk staff? But strictly speaking, considering the Foundation's track record, or the track record of certain foundations, we're probably lucky it just isn't feeding kids to it, like they did with those crab things. Those bastards. Right, moving on. 0908 redacted time. Several quote-unquote bedsheet ghosts are seen through various security feeds throughout the day, would only appear for approximately 1 to 3 seconds before vanishing in. Staff did not report seeing any anomalous entities firsthand. Notes: patrols doubled for the remaining time in the SCP cycle.
0913. Oh, that's the it's the month-day thing. Yeah. 2219. Unidentifiable singing is heard throughout the site, persisting for 3 hours before becoming silent. Recordings reveal song-like gibberish with up to 30 individual children's voices singing at any time. Recordings archived for future study.
0919, needlessly redacted date. At 1427, Agent McCroy cuts a pumpkin's vine with machete. Severed vine proceeded to bleed approximately 50 liters of human blood before shriveling. Blood type AB, no DNA match. Well, that's interesting.
Maybe that's why they're not taking any more samples.
No, I want it to die. If it bleeds out, so much the better. Well, in any case. We'll move on.
Yeah. 0924, redacted time. Overnight, 2 separate pumpkin patches grew into the rough approximations of humanoid figures lying on the ground. Destroyed without incident.
Nice. There we go. And I suppose I should remember they are making a point of culling the vegetation with great regularity. Greetings in chat to SnoopySN100.
Hello.
0925, redacted date. At 5:17, Agent Long found decapitated, neck against a pumpkin. Note: disappeared en route to restroom break.
Wow. 0927 at 2:50. All light bulbs on site burn out within a 2-minute period. Critical areas repaired before nightfall.
0930, redacted date. At 12:16, sudden shift noted and location of several dozen gourd plants. Time and nature of actual event unknown.
10:01, redacted year at 1429. Agent Cole accidentally damages and breaks Pumpkin during weekly examination of SCP-097. Pumpkin splits open, revealing a complete human child skeleton in the fetal position within. A female, approximately 5 years old, no DNA match.
Yeah, that makes me pretty livid. Not surprised there are no DNA matches. Remember, this was probably penned well before 23andMe started selling all of people's DNA data to China for reasons.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was my concern about DNA tests, because I would love to confirm the things I believe I know to be true about my genetic lineage, but I kind of had a feeling that if I was to use 23andMe at one of those services to do so, yeah, that's going straight to the worst people. There's just no chance they would immediately fob it off on the single worst peak group they could sell it to, which is
You could go to a reputable lab instead.
Yes, I'm sure they sold it to them too. Okay. 1002 redacted. Year 29 freshly decapitated crows. Corvus Brachynochus. Found outside SCP-097's containment wall. Notes, none. So, if you happen to be a misanthrope who doesn't give a shit about human children, but are really, really inclined to get weepy over animals, well, congratulations, welcome to Team Fuck This Pumpkin.
Yeah, I finally joined Fuck This Pumpkin.
We're lucky I'm not so successful this could really take off. Please do continue.
Yes, 1006, at 6:37, matured pumpkin plant found to have replaced a potted plant growing inside of Dr. Bridges' office. Indoor plants banned from the site. Pumpkin incinerated immediately.
Oh, it's trying to intimidate the containing doctor. That's cute. 1007 redacted. Date at 1650. Agent Matthews falls unconscious during patrol and cannot be woken until removed from property. Agent reported dreaming of autumn colors and the smell of leaves. Full recovery. Reassigned to desk work pending examination.
1011 at 7:38. Research Assistant Storm reports overwhelming taste and scent of pumpkin permeating her senses. No other personnel report anomaly. Transferred off-site, examination pending.
1013. The year 6969. Sounds of steady drums playing throughout the day from 0000 to 2359. Source of sound unknown. Recordings archived for future study.
1017 at 3:19. Male child, approximately 6 years of age and clad in pajamas, seen climbing through corn stalks on the eastern end of SCP-097, moving towards SCP-097-01. Lost to SCP-097-01. How the child was able to escape notice by personnel until after he was lost to the SCP is unknown.
That's a big security failure. They should know precisely how, like where the cameras failed to spot it, where the patrols failed to see them. But, yeah, I suppose they're trying. And again, the important thing is that they aren't feeding it kids in some effort to appease it.
Yes.
1020 redacted. 1307. All personnel within a 3.6 kilometers of SCP-0971 report hallucinations of orange haze and children's laughter. Personnel evacuated to a distance outside the area of effect. Personnel screened for mental interference.
10:23 at 1 minute after midnight. All power and backup power to the area failed. Upon recovery, more than 100 pumpkins within SCP-097 were found to have changed into carved lanterns. It is unknown how SCP-097 generated and lit candles. Team 097 Alpha and Beta asked to destroy lanterns after sunrise.
1023 redacted date. 0813. Team 097 Alpha reports seeing and hearing children playing among the flora within SCP-097. Recordings lack the entities expected from the reports. Children noted to be clad in pajamas. Teams pulled from SCP screened for mental interference.
1025 at 11:49. CMAs Indorata kernels fall from the sky around SCP-097. Does not fall within containment walls. Area cleansed with flame units and... I'm sorry. Area cleansed with flame units and replaced with non-native grasses. Pavement of outside area pending.
Excellent. 1026, redacted date 2113, research assistant O'Toole overcome with nausea and vomits pumpkin seeds. O'Toole did not eat pumpkin seeds previous to vomiting. Researcher O'Toole has been transferred to site redacted for examination, seeds incinerated with prejudice.
1027 redacted at 10:03. Research assistant O'Toole reported to have died overnight. Autopsy reveals thoracic cavity was filled with pumpkin seeds. Body incinerated at site redacted. All personnel scheduled for full physical examination.
That's something to investigate. Why O'Toole? Well, in any case, 1028, in the year 6969, unintelligible whispering gibberish heard by fertile female personnel throughout the area when in view of SCP-097. Phenomenon continues throughout the day, continuing for the duration of SCP-097 cycle, for example, until November 1st. Associate personnel removed from duty and scheduled for examinations.
The same day at 17:45, headlights of vehicle underneath SCP-097-1 light and stay lit until daybreak. There are no notes.
The next day, fruit trees within SCP-097 blossom over the course of 5 hours, being at roughly 700. Flowers wither and fall soon after. No note.
An hour and 7 minutes later, pumpkins near the south entrance to SCP-097 began spontaneously bleeding from the stem. Each continued bleeding for 3 hours. Blood type AB, AB-, no DNA match.
1031. Redacted. Several dozen unidentified spheres of red light viewed drifting above SCP-097 and surrounding the area. When light was shown directly on the spheres, a piercing shriek was heard. Note: personnel called into the main building until spheres dissipated at dawn.
10:31 at noon. Sounds of steady drums are recorded from within SCP-097. Drums persist for the following 12 hours. No source identified. Recordings archived for future study. Or future study.
1031. Redacted year. 1419. All strawberry plants within SCP-097 wither in unison. No note.
Same day at 17:43. Between 25 and 30 animate human skeletons of varying size are recorded breaking out of anger, or out of larger,
I'm angry too, but we'll get through this.
Larger pumpkins within SCP-097. Skeletons traverse through SCP-097's flora to the northeast peach tree and hang themselves from its branches using lengths of grapevine, electrical cable, and decaying rope. Skeletons ceased anomalous behavior after pantomiming death by hanging. Death throes continued for approximately 23 minutes. Notes: skeletons recovered after first frost. All appeared under 12 years of age. No DNA matches. Skeletons incinerated after examination.
Over the course of this, I've gotten a terrible idea. Where did the occupants of Halloween Town come from?
Here.
I mean, look, most of them are undead of assorted varieties. Some of them, in fact, a great number of them, lack reproductive capability whatsoever. I'm thinking this is where Halloween Town gets its new citizens.
Yes.
And with that in mind, I am still absolutely on team fuck that pumpkin. With napalm. But, again, the important thing is to have it contained and to refine containment until it's thoroughly done with.
I have a
Thoughts?
quick question.
Oh, go on.
Is Big grooming you behind your ear? He's been looking behind your ear a couple times now. I was just wondering.
I think he's just checking to see if snacks might have spontaneously appeared. So SCP-097 is a giant pumpkin. Well, yes, and a child predator that lures children to horrible deaths before consuming them and turning them into some sort of undead army at its bidding. Or, alternatively, sending their souls to the great beyond of Halloween Town so they can do musical numbers.
I shall have to return in a moment.
No, that's fine. Meanwhile, I do have one of my favorite Halloween SCPs loaded up. But, audience, this is your chance to make your request of your favorite Halloween SCPs. Meanwhile, quite happy for you, those of you who know where your ancestors are born and what your lineage precisely is. That is a strength. It helps you to know how to navigate. Or, if you put too much into it, it could sabotage you. It really depends, I suppose, on how bad or good your ancestors really were. In my case, my lineage is a bloody mess. I do know of a direct path, but I also know it stretches across continents, and a precise lineage isn't quite that easy to nail down. But I will die in ignorance before I submit to a genetic study. Why? Because, quite frankly, I think my DNA has been very badly used already as it is. I don't want to hand it off into even worse hands. I'm sure you all understand. Any further SCP requests are all go to my favorite, the Halloween Market. See if I don't. Although, again, SCP-2171 was trying to contain this one, and it is kind of related on that point. Notably, there would normally be a raffle. Exodus has provided me several keys to raffle off in the near future. Not this time, though, solely because I didn't remember I needed to set up a raffle, and it wasn't part of the promotion, and then it just felt like I wasn't doing the raffle justice. So, Sunday. If you're in the mood to potentially win a game, you want to tune in to the Sunday show on Rumble. Which, now that I think about it, might be a better place to raffle off anyway, just to encourage more people to use Rumble. Please do. Clearly, more competition is needed, and I think they have the best odds at present. The raffle that is not happening on this stream, Exodus. That raffle. This time. Yes. There's several keys left that have not been raffled off yet. I would have intended to raffle one off this time, but time was short and it didn't cross my mind until I had to be ready right then. What can I say? I'm not perfect. Some days, it's all I can do just to start the stream at the right time. Vimeo is just like YouTube before the OBS. Don't I need to pay Vimeo to use it? Or Vimeo, this is different. The first I'm hearing of Vimeo, so I'm hesitant to put much into it. I think Rumble has the better odds, but that's not for this show. This is the SCP Review Show. Do anyone have a Halloween favorite? If not, I think I will briefly touch upon 2171 to try to guess why it was trying to contain 097, and then I'll go to one of my favorite Halloween ones. What I really need to do, if we're being quite honest, is go ahead and secure a Streamlabs Plus account so I can start restreaming to at least 2 sources at any given time. In which case, by the way, Gray, I might need a chat manager again, if you want to recommit to that for no particularly good reason. Item SCP-2171, Object Class, formerly Euclid, now Safe. Special containment procedures. All areas affected by SCP-2171 are to be placed under permanent video surveillance and/or botanical field supervision on a case-by-case basis. New instances of SCP-2171 should be subject to a thorough botanical analysis and, when necessary, restored through environmental engineering operations conducted by Containment Task Force. Alphabet thing I should know. 6. Green Gale personnel. During seasonal autumn and until the demanifestation of all SCP-2171 entities, areas affected by 2171 are to remain closed to all civilian transit. Description: SCP-2171 is a seasonal phenomenon involving fallen leaves of all deciduous trees, rooted within the confines of certain areas. Henceforth, the area leaves fallen within the area during seasonal autumn will invariably form large piles that remain unaffected by local weather until all deciduous trees are completely defoliated. We've done this one before. These are the sentient leaf piles. Well, pseudo-sentient. And they can be predatory, as I recall, but it's awfully nice if they were doing their best to contain 097. So clearly, they can't be all bad. No, we're not going to go through all the skin. Instead, my favorite Halloween SCP, at least for this year. SCP Foundation, Spook Creep Pester, SCP-2523, Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Annually, on August 15th, Mobile Task Force Omicron 13, Trick or Treat is to be activated. MTF, Omicron 3, must begin a full Class W Mystic treatment regimen no later than August 20th. MTF Omega 13, well, Omicron 13, sorry. Omicron Spooky. Will begin the Class W dosage ramp down no earlier than November 7th and will stand down no earlier than November 5th. Activation may be extended up to 90 days at the discretion of SCP-2523 Project Lead. Further extensions must be approved by both the reporting intern supervisor and the reporting medical officer. Beginning October 1st, MTF Omicron 13 will conduct a 24-hour observation of 8 sites affected by SCP-2523 designated SCP-2523A through H, which will include the easternmost and westernmost affected locations, as well as one additional site chosen each U.S. time zone. October 31st, 1 hour prior to local sunset, MTF Omicron 13 will deploy a 2-man contact team into each designated site at each location. As each location enters the anomaly, teams will confirm positive contact and passphrase with each other prior to carrying out mission operations. Contact teams are to be relieved every 8 hours for 24 hours. Ejected team members must be replaced immediately. All teams within the anomaly must confirm positive contact and passphrase during each relief or replacement. Team members are to attempt to prevent non-monetary purchases by civilians using low-profile social engineering techniques only. In the event that a civilian engages in a non-monetary purchasing, they are to ascertain the civilian's identity and origin point and advise the support team. Support teams are to immediately locate and detain any civilians who have made non-monetary purchases. Purchased items are to be confiscated for study. Detained persons are to be interviewed and then released following amnestization. Ejected contact team personnel are to be immediately reclassified as Class E personnel, debriefed, and quarantined for 366 days at a location at least 50 kilometers away from any key Foundation assets. Survivors may return to duty pending approval by the reporting medical officer. Currently, detention of SCP-2523-1 entities is not authorized. In the event that authorization is reinstated, entities are to be secured with restraints consisting of a minimum 75% iron by mass. You know, he can be a bit kissy, but never behind the ear, really. He just apparently likes the way the back of my ear smells, which is alarming and tells me that I should probably take a shower soon. If it's an SCP Exodus, it's game. Go ahead and toss that number in chat. We might have time by the time I'm done. Hopefully Haven is still alive. We're rooting for you, Haven. I am anyway. I can't speak for anyone watching. Sounds like who goes commando? I mean, he's a rat. Obviously he does. They don't typically wear clothes at all. And I'm not the sort of person who would try to dress them up in whimsical costumes or clothing. Just, no. That's not me. I think they're pretty happy as they are. Right. Currently, detention... Oh, wait, we've done that. Description. SCP-2523 is a phenomenon affecting seasonal Halloween costuming and decoration stores in the US and Canada from sunset on October 31st to sunset on November 1st. It is restricted to stores which are entirely seasonal and does not affect Halloween displays in more permanent businesses. While the anomaly is active, the affected locations become spatially co-located. Regardless of geographic separation, store interiors will overlay where sufficiently similar, or for example, similar display shelving will become a single shelf unit without duplication of products. Otherwise, the entire space expands as needed. Persons entering one location are able to physically interact with the persons at all affected locations in real time and to return to the place of origin when exiting. Footnote: the similarities between this phenomenon and SCP-1323, including the overlapping time frames, spatial distortion, and behavior of the entities within, and the nature of the exchanges suggests that these may be highly correlated phenomenon. Maybe we should look at that one next. Questioning the SCP-25231 entities about this connection has resulted in ejection events. No, 953. That feels familiar. The affected locations will remain open for the full 24-hour period regardless of the posted hours. At sunset, 4 to 6 entities designated SCP-25231 will appear and relieve all employees. Entities are diminutive humanoids estimated between 0.8 and 1.2 meters in height, with a variety of chimerical features from various vertebrates, as well as limbs and extremities that vary in proportion. See Appendix A, SCP-25231 for additional detail. These entities carry out routine retail operations except for attempting to persuade customers to make non-monetary exchanges. At the end of the 24-hour period, they are relieved by scheduled human employees who typically begin closing the store for the season. Exposed persons will rationalize all anomalous properties of SCP-2523, including those of trades, entities, and objects originating from the anomaly, as entirely normal experiences. This effect extends to direct conversation with affected persons, as well as photographs and other direct recordings. This is an anti-mimetic effect that Class W amnestic treatment combined with conscious reaffirmation of observed details has been demonstrated to neutralize when a customer attempts to purchase an item during the anomaly. SCP-25231 entities will attempt to persuade them not to use monetary means to purchase the item. Instead, the entity will ask for trade. Entities have accepted physical objects as well as more abstract concepts as fair trades. This has included hair, personal abilities, years of life, children, legal drugs, memories, and emotions. For a full list, see Appendix B, SCP-2523, non-monetary exchanges.
Oh, I remember this.
Yes, I really like this one, quite frankly. I think, well, I would say the Foundation are being just killjoys, but they will accept children, and that's a step too far. Otherwise, I would say all adults are welcome to trade wherever they want with these guys.
Yeah.
Like, just no trading family, children, so on. If the customer insists on paying with money, the entity will, with visible reluctance, accept. Customers appear to have permanently lost the traded quality in all cases that was testable. Shall we take a quick look at the list of purchased items? Would you want to start, perhaps?
Yeah, sure. Prosthetic vampire fangs. Their properties were wearer develops an uncontrollable desire to consume blood. Any vertebrate blood is accepted, as well as the ability to induce a state of extreme suggestibility via conversation. The item that they exchanged for that was 30 grams of heroin.
I have to note that this is an example of a pretty good trade. I mean, as much as I hate vampires, this is hardly the real thing, and it's not infectious, so if they just feed it so many cows, everyone's happy. But I'm glad it's contained. And I just wonder what these Fae folk did with 30 grams of heroin. In any case, item, a dark chocolate candy bar. After consuming the bar, the subject lost all interest in food and did not show any signs of starvation despite consuming nothing else for at least 28 days. It was exchanged for the memory of a childhood family trip. That is another pretty good trade.
I don't know.
Well, if it was a particularly beloved memory of a childhood family trip, that'd be one thing, but I'm thinking there are a lot of people who have memories of childhood family trips that they could probably do without.
True, but still losing interest in food Ark?
Look, that would make it so much easier to maintain a diet. They had no signs of starvation,
No.
no ill effects.
But if you didn't have the bad sides of liking food, you wouldn't have the good sides either, like pancakes drenched in like syrup and stuff.
I hear what you're
Or
saying.
lasagna.
In my case, though, that's stuff I can't have anyway. I can totally do without it. And not having a desire to potentially put myself in a very bad way by having way too much ice cream or cake or whatnot. I would get a lot done. And finally, think of the savings!
True.
In any case.
300 plastic spiders. Purchaser was aspired to consume the spiders. Following consumption of a spider, subject was able to secrete an otherwise non-anomalous living banded spider. What? Arketer trofasciata from bodily orifices and directed telepathically. I think they meant spider web. And they traded it for
they
the
meant
ability to sing.
they mean actual banded spiders. They mean living spiders. They're able to pop spiders out of any given orifice and then command them telepathically.
Oh.
Yeah, webbing would be much less disturbing.
Yes. But they lost the ability to sing.
I suppose it really depends on how much they enjoyed singing. This is not the worst trade yet. We're getting to one of those. Sexy nurse costume, where demonstrated markedly decreased sexual inhibitions as well as increased attractiveness to the opposite sex. Sexual partners reported mild anesthetic effects. Exchanged for an 8-year-old boy, current whereabouts are unknown. What a bitch.
Yeah. Current whereabouts.
Traded her only child to be a super slut.
Yes. Decorative trick mirror. Entities visible in mirror are deceased persons or pets known to the viewer. They exchange that for empathy.
Okay, that's one of those, selling your hair to buy a comb types of things, isn't it?
Kinda, except you don't need empathy to miss loved ones because you don't have empathy in yourself.
Okay, so they can still pity themselves, and I guess the mirror leans into that. And now they're probably rather incredibly dangerous individual.
The person who got the mirror basically became a clinical narcissist.
That said, at least this trade, you could boost the mirror and use it for something more useful, or give it to someone who's not a complete dick, as they now are. Bag of roasted pumpkin seeds. Seeds originate from SCP-097. The bright side of this, in my opinion, is this means that an instance of SCP-097 was slaughtered and its seeds roasted. At least one hopes.
Yes.
It was exchanged for a tattoo depicting the rank chevrons of United States Navy Petty Officer First Class. Tattoo is removed without scarring. Notably, if you can trade in tattoos, I'm guessing it's probably an excellent bargain to get a tattoo just to trade it in here.
Yes.
Although, probably not roasted pumpkin seeds from the child murder pumpkin.
True.
Addenda. Ejection events. The first ejection event occurred during initial containment. Oh wait, we have an interview. We turned off on that. I don't feel bad now reading this. The first ejection event occurred during initial containment on 11/01/1999 at 01:10 hours, and is typical of all later ejection events. Agent Mugnaini attempted to physically block the entrance to the anomaly. A SCP-25231 entity emerged and asked Agent Mugnaini to leave. Mugnaini refused and began to suffer significant full-body pain, which increased intensity until he complied. Afterwards, Mugnaini reported having bad luck, and statistical analysis determined that he and Area Redacted, where he was stationed, were suffering from a significantly high number of unfortunate coincidences. This condition ended with his death in a car accident on 01/25/2000. It is suspected as a contributing factor in 17 injuries, 4 fatalities, and 1 Category 3 breach at area redacted. Further testing has determined that this effect persists for 366 days. Once ejected, personnel are unable to re-enter the anomaly even after the 366-day period has expired. Detention of SCP-25231 entity. Interviewed. SCP-25231 entity with name tag reading Bobby Goodman. Interviewer, Agent Rossetti. Which role might you prefer, David?
I'll be Agent Rossetti.
Sounds good. On 10/31/2001 at 2000 hours, MTF Omicron 13 agents abducted an SCP-25231 entity to Site-17 for questioning and containment. It is described as having canine ears, a primate muzzle, and disproportionately long arms and legs. See Appendix A for full descriptions. Entity was successfully secured with iron restraints. 3 Omicron 13 team members were ejected from the anomaly as a consequence of the operation. Begin log 11/01/2001, 200 hours.
So, Bobby, would you like to tell me about where you work?
I don't work, human. I sell things.
Tell me about the things you sell, then.
We sell delicious things, wonderful things, things of joy and darkness, things from the land of youth, things from the land of death, and things from the border country. Come by!
Who are you?
You humans, always so forgetful. Such a delight. At Summers and the gates at the border country are open wide. We have come to sell our wares at this time, as we did in the... What is your word for places in shadow that cannot be reached from the now? The past! Yes, we are the in-between people, the border people. Vassals, neither to hot radiant summer or cold massless winter. We are the autumn people.
Why only sell Halloween stores and not others? Oh, why only seasonal Halloween stores and not others?
Oh, the in-between places, they are ours. They too live only here on the edge of summer.
Why do you prefer to trade for things and not money?
Money has no value. It's only a medium of exchange. We crave only things of value. For these things we can trade in the world. How do you think we get the things we sell? We are the autumn people, not cobblers.
Are you aware that the things you sell are problematic for humans?
Yes, of course they are. We are merry people. All wares are mirthful.
Ending log. Closing statement. Following the interview with the entity the entity was transferred to a humanoid containment unit and was extremely cooperative. At sunset on 11/01/2001, the entity vanished from containment, leaving behind a crude doll made of rough, unworked oak sticks, clothing scraps, and mineral clay. All milk products at Site-17 were reported to have instantly spoiled simultaneously with this event. And greetings in chat to SP Author Extraordinary, George Zb. Or Mount Zib. I'm not really quite sure. I think you told me how to say that, and I got it wrong. And then I forgot how I was supposed to say it. And now here we are. We're reviewing Halloween SCPs, and we just finished one of my favorites, because quite frankly, I've got a few things I think I could trade well at this Halloween market. I mean, can no one think of something they would happily trade in for a potentially really awesome paranormal ability?
50% of my body fat?
The scars of type 2 diabetes?
Yeah.
I mean, whatever they give me back in return for that, I think that's going to be a fantastic bargain indeed.
Yes.
I mean, it can... What would you all want? I'm thinking there are a million and one ways it can be applied, at least for Halloween decorations. You know, I think I could quite possibly even get used to the spider thing, only I don't think I would possibly be inclined to release them from any orifice other than my ears or mouth. And I say I'm okay with my ears because they're getting hairier. It kind of already looks like I have some shy spiders living in there. Look, that just comes with age. I'm okay with it.
You're so old, ancient,
Not
when the
yet, I
world was
feel it.
young.
Oh, that's fine.
I feel ancient sometimes.
Well, whatever the case, the important thing is that I'm not dead yet. And I think that really goes for all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, once you're dead, it's game over, man. Game over! This is also, by the way, I get really annoyed when people kill themselves. You don't do that. I mean, there are countless good fights in the world one can absolutely throw their lives into. The way I see it, with so many people out in the world who are very eager to kill someone, you should never kill yourself. Make them do it. And make it a challenge.
We gotta fight.
In other words, stay the fuck out of Canada. Because they're really keen on pushing people to suicide. It's really getting quite absurd. Now, did you know, and I'll cover this more on Sunday, Canada is now trying to authorize medical assistance in dying, you know, for MAID people who have addictions. Have an addiction? Why kick it when you can just have the Canadian government kill your ass? Too dark. We don't seem to have time for another one, but quite frankly, I think there'll be at least one more of these before spooky time has come and gone. So I will start with SCP-953 next time once I confirm what it is and that we haven't done it before. And I still might anyway, because I want to lean into the Halloween ones while it's still spooky month. Because I like spook month.
Yay.
It is my favorite time of the year and my favorite holiday. Christmas is a close second, though. I just want it to stay in December, damn it. I see you, Christmas. Every year, they put out the decorations for sale a little bit earlier. No, this is spooky month. Get out. Be happy to do this whole Christmas thing in Christmas time. I'm okay with the latter half of November, the last week of November. Fine. Any sooner than that pisses me off.
I remember when I was a kid and we just got access to Cartoon Network. It was like a seriously weird thing that they were celebrating Christmas or Yule in November. And that things were even available to buy them.
Yes, well, they want to max out that whole buy things for people who don't necessarily want what you're buying. But hey, at least it got off the shelves. In any case. Greetings, Morrison Johansson. We are out of time. I'm going to wrap things up. Any final thoughts on this market? Did anyone just... No. This is a fun one. Just think. So many things that you have right now that these guys will buy and trade something much more interesting for. Oh yes, yeah, Canada has basically been offering suicide for the slightest issue whatsoever. Stub your toe? Oh, is the pain too much? Hey, want to die?
Yeah.
I don't like this trend. Everywhere it's been established, it just gets worse. I'm quite frankly not necessarily opposed to adults choosing to do whatever the fuck they damn well want, including auto-termination. But when the government is given an incentive to just, you know, kick you off the support list, that's gonna encourage some real nasty behavior. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Okay, we are done here. Haven, thank you for joining me for this stream. Thank you all for watching. I will be live again tomorrow with the SRS on Rumble. If you're not familiar with the SRS, well, if you have access to my volunteer reserve Discord server, you'll get the link there. And I should... Wait a second. Why am I not just giving you a link to the channel? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to provide a link here to the last SRS in the hopes that you will, well, that's SRS and Rumble. I tried doing one here on YouTube, a sort of, well, emergency stopgap, because that Friday the 13th did not quite go as well as past Friday the 13th, and I was determined not to miss the show. So it wasn't great. I'll see you all, if you don't go to Rumble for any reason, next week with the next SCP review. Until next time, so long as progress continues, success is inevitable. Ostensibly.
Have fun.